Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Hyrick, and thank you for joining another episode of SIP Chats. Today, we have David Richards of Grandstream with us today. David, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me, Brian. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were excited about this one. We've had a lot of our partners and customers asking what's going on with Grandstream and networking equipment. We're seeing a bigger push there, it looks like, from your end, and we'd love to explain to our customers what's going on there and what's that look like.
Yeah, absolutely. And, thanks again for having me on here, Brian. I know VoIP Supply has been a big partner of ours for quite some time now. So it's a pleasure to get on here and talk to the customer base about what's going on. But, I'd say around the time that COVID hit is really when our networking portfolio started to blow up. And over the past couple of years now, it's been our fastest growing product line we've had. And that includes all of our UC and ATA equipment. So there's a lot of, exciting things going on right now. We actually just launched our first Wi-Fi 6E access point, which is something that people have been asking for quite some time. That one's going to be the GWN 7665. And we do have a large roadmap of things that are coming out this year. I believe last time I checked, we've got roughly 39 new products coming out, and that fits into every category from your access points, your Wi-Fi routers, wired routers, switches. Even have some point-to-point and point-to-multi-point devices coming out. So we've got a lot of exciting things coming up here on our roadmap.
It's awesome. It sounds like you guys are really trying to encompass the total solution, so not just telephony anymore, but anything you'd really need, networking as well, from the switches on out to the APs. I know that Grandstream has cloud management for the UCM series and the phones. Are we looking at something similar on the networking side as well?
Right, absolutely. So on the UC side, which I'd say most people know us on the UC side. If you're familiar with Grandstream, you've always used the GDMS portal. On the networking side, we do actually have a cloud-based management platform that's called GWN.cloud. One of the big things with GWN.cloud, I think that really makes Grandstream popular in the networking market, is that we allow you to manage an unlimited amount of devices completely for free. So that's really been huge. We do also have, our software-based management platform on the networking side that's called GWN Manager. And then, for the customers that don't want to use cloud or download software onto a local server, all of our access points and routers, they do come with embedded controllers. So it allows you to manage those devices on your deployment. So one of the exciting things that's really taken place over the last month or two, we've had a lot of feedback and a lot of requests for this over, I'd say, the last year or two, is to merge those two platforms together. So the GDMS and GWN.cloud. So over the last, I'd say, month or two, it has been merged together. So now our customers can use a single login to access those management platforms. And, now you get to manage both your networking equipment and your UC equipment all from one login, which has been huge for us.
It's super powerful. Now, I know you mentioned the software is free, and I'm familiar that your partners can set that up for you. So reach out to VoIP Supply if you guys want to get set up with that account. We can take care of that for you. But is there any licenses on the devices themselves that you have to buy to be able to put on there, or is it actually free?
It is completely for free. There is no licensing. I do know there, I've seen in the past where some manufacturers may have free up to X amount of devices, and then you pay licensing for additional. They are completely free. I say unlimited. There's an arbitrary number of about 1 million devices that you can manage within GWN.cloud. Now, if any of your customers get over 1 million devices, call me. I'll make sure they can have more in there, or we'll set them up with a second account if need be. But yeah, it is completely free.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'd be happy to have that call as well.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure. So that's super valuable. I think that's really interesting and a great investment of Grandstream into their customer experience and their partners as well, that you're not taxing on essentially additional licenses or fees to manage all of their devices. So that's really cool. I think you guys made an awesome move there.
Absolutely. And one other thing on that, GWN.cloud, it was really made with the the MSP in mind, or any IT company that's managing multiple networks. One of the big benefits that your customers would see is not only can you manage an unlimited number of devices, but you can have an unlimited number of networks as well within GWN.cloud.
Okay.
Your MSPs, your IT professionals, like I said, the people that are managing multiple networks, they can set up a separate network for each of their customers and assign that customer a login to specifically their network. That way, you could have multiple people logging in, but they're only going to see their specific network. So it's a really powerful tool, really great to use to manage your equipment.
That's excellent for partners that have different teams regionally,
Yeah,
or different verticals as well. I could see that.
a lot of flexibility, a lot of customization. So great tool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Is there any specific APs or switches that maybe customers should look at first that you guys are seeing go out in droves?
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as switches go, we've got, what is the number? I think it's 27 different switches in our portfolio.
Right.
And I always tell people we have multiple flavors depending on your deployment, or depending on your customer. I'd say our layer 2+ switches have been very popular, especially with SMB or small to medium sized businesses. We've got a number of unmanaged switches that we've really seen picking up in the SMB market and also the residential markets.
Wow.
And then we also have, on the switch side, we've got layer 3 and aggregation switches, and we see those move a lot in enterprise and large businesses as well. So really just depending on where the customer is and the type of deployment that they're doing, we have quite a few switches that would fit perfectly depending on the verticals. But as far as access points go, I know I mentioned at the start, we just came out with our Wi-Fi 6E access point. That one has been doing very well. It's only been on the market here for about a month now, but we've been moving it quite frequently. So if you look at the GWN 7665, I'd say our most popular access point right now is the GWN 7660, which is one of our Wi-Fi 6 access points. I've noticed in the market, a lot of times when we went from Wi-Fi 5 to Wi-Fi 6, it takes end users and customers some time to catch up to that new technology. So right now, our Wi-Fi 6 access point is still our top seller. And that one specifically was the GWN 7660.
That's great. Well, that gives our customers a couple of products to initially dive into and take a look at. And now our partners and end users alike can take a look at Grandstream, not just as their UC partner, but really as a total solutions provider. So kudos to you guys on that journey. I know our customers are excited about it as well. And now they can even manage it all together.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. And, one last thing on that, since you brought it up, is having the UC and the networking guys. One thing to look for from Grandstream in the coming months is we are coming out with some convergence solutions. So we are taking solutions from the UC side and the networking side and creating an all-in-one box. So this is going to be huge. Historically speaking, in our industry, you always had the networking guys and you always had the UC guys. And the networking guys didn't always want to get into the UC and deal with SIP and vice versa. So we are coming out with some converged solutions that are going to give you, your PBX, your router, firewall, and your switch all in one solution. So that's really going to open the door for a lot of these guys who had, one track. You've got the networking guys. Now they're going to be able to start offering a UC product to their customer base as well. So
Right.
be on the lookout for those. We are calling them the converged solutions.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to see the converged solutions as well, and dive into that product myself. So that's super cool. David, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you guys have been super busy lately, so we definitely value you guys as partners and you personally for hopping on the SIP chats today.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, and I appreciate you bringing me on.
Absolutely. And everyone, if you enjoyed this episode of SIP Chats, and if you have any questions for David or myself, comment below. Also, like and subscribe to if you want to see more SIP Chats like these, and perhaps bring David on for another episode as well. So thanks again for tuning in, and until next time.